Hello again everyone and welcome to another StarCraft 2 commentary with EXO, and this is going to be game number 2 from the Black Dragon League between ESC Goody spawning as the purple Terran over here at the 2 o'clock position, no, 10 o'clock position. What did I just say there? I just turned the map around, so yeah, it seemed like 2 o'clock, but it is going to be 10 o'clock position. And over here, Nightend spawning as the blue Protoss at the 5 o'clock position. So, I don't think anyone can have fun versus you. Well, if you haven't checked the previous game number 1, then go check that out as well, because I'm going to be spoiling it a little bit. Yeah, he has fun. The thing is, he just gets such a lot, like, he gets so many mech units. I don't think there's anyone who gets so much mech in StarCraft 2 other than Goody. I mean, he's so well known for this, and the thing is, it's such a strong unit composition. I mean, it's so hard to fight against. It's so hard because it's just, you can't really tackle it in any way. Like, there's no real way around it. I mean, you can't say, I'm gonna get this to counter this, to counter that, to counter this, to counter that. There's no such phrasing, there is no such method of playing against mech. Mech is all about whittling it down. It's abusing the fact that it's not mobile. It's about anticipating what your opponent is going to do with it, and then try to be there and stuff like that. It's just I don't know. It's really working out for Goody, though, I have to say. So lately he's been doing really great with this mech play, and yeah, we'll just have to see what Nightend does in this game. He did lose the previous game, so the score is now 1-0 for Goody, because he just, well, that game, if you look at that game, you probably say that, you know, Nightend is kind of in the commanding position over here. But once Goody moved out with all those mech units, with all those tanks, all those Thors, there was nothing he could really do. And especially if you incorporate Ghosts into that and you EMP the Protoss army, then you're in so much trouble as Protoss. I mean, I can't even tell you. But let's take a look at the game. So it is going to be a game on Shakur's Plateau, and the spawn positions are crossed, so this is going to be a long distance from base to base, and we're probably not going to see any of that play concerning the backdoor rocks, or who knows, if the game goes really macro, if it goes into the late game, then we might even see something like that. But other than that, I don't think in TVP these rocks do get taken down a lot, because, well, it's just not really feasible, I think, especially when you're playing like Goody with mech and stuff. You don't really want to be pushing through narrow chokes like that, because, you know, mech armies are so big and bulky. You don't really want to go through that. You want to have some sort of you want your opponent to be in a narrow choke, not you, so you can take advantage of the sieged up tanks and stuff like that. But yeah, Goody is going to be opening with a barracks into factory. This is not surprising. Yeah, and that's my throat kicking in again. So let's see if he's going to be getting a starport after this right away, or if he's going to be getting a second factory, because as we all know, he really likes to get factories. No, he's going to get a starport. No add-on yet on this factory. He's just going to get a Hellion right away. This looks a lot like TLO's play a long time ago as Terran. If you do remember, he used to get this fast factory and get the Hellion out, and many times he would even get a reactor on his barracks while the factory was building, so he could get 2 Hellions at the start and then switch back the add-ons and stuff like that. Anyway, Nightend, though, is going to go for, yep, pretty standard opening. Might see a robotics facility over here. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a robotics facility, given the fact that he knows he's playing Goody. You want to have that robo bay. Yeah, robo facility, I mean, up as fast as possible. Let's see, 200 gas, 200, let's see if I'm right about this one. Ooh, psychic power. So, indeed, the warp gate research is almost done. And he's going to go 2-gate robo, probably. There we go, the expansion has been laid down as well. I didn't even look at that. So, yeah, this is pretty good, a pretty good opening from Nightend, especially on a map like Shakur's, where you have these, I'm just going to be checking if he did scout the entrance, so he knows that the spawn positions are crossed like this. So, yeah, Shakur's Plateau is one of those maps that is a little bit more forgiving. On the natural expansion, it's quite easy to defend, it's easy to take, it's very close to your main. The ramps are pretty narrow, so, yeah, you can go and expand. As we can see, Goody is doing the same thing right now, building a command center. Inside his base, he's going to lift that off and move it down to the natural, but For now, looks like Nightend is going to try scouting this again. He's not going to see that much. He just saw that bunker laid down, so he probably imagines that, you know, there's some stuff happening inside Goody's base that Goody doesn't want Nightend to see. So he's probably going to suspect mech regardless, because oops, and I have to set myself as busy. So yeah, looks like Nightend going to go for the exact same opening that he went on. Ooh, some Helionage going on over here. So he's going to be going for the exact same opening he went on Lost Temple. So let's see if these Hellions are going to do a lot of damage. They don't have Blue Flame. And the probes, are they going to get moved? Oh, the force field not really doing that much. And Goody actually evacuating 2 of those Hellions, moving back. He did get like 4 or 5 probe kills over there. Not bad. He only lost 1 Hellion, so that was good for Goody. And here we go, a second factory on the way for Goody. Nothing really surprising about that, considering that this is Goody playing. So we're probably going to see some more factories being added on, and some more factories, and some more factories, and some more factories after that. And let's see if this is going to work out for Goody, just like it did in the previous game, where he just turtled up, stayed in defense close to his natural until he got just this amazing amount of mech, then moved out. That was pretty much game for Nightend, even though Nightend had a pretty good army as well. That mech is so hard to play against, and looks like Nightend is going to try intercepting this medevac, but it is not going to happen because the medevac is going to go out of range. There we go. And Nightend is on 2 bases right now, so is Goody. Getting an orbital command over here, obviously, to the first 2 command centers. You want them up as orbital commands. I haven't really seen any players who got their natural up as planetary fortress, especially not in the pro let's say pro leagues and stuff like that. But interesting choice over here from Goody, getting both these refineries right away. He's probably going to send, there we go, some SCVs onto the gas. Yep, he will need a lot of gas to sustain his mech production. As we can see, 3rd factory has been added on. Now looks like Nightend is going to try and apply some pressure. Now you obviously want to do this because, well, Nightend knows that in the game before, if you let Goody get that amount of mech and unit producing structures, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because when he moves out, it is going to be very hard for you. Now this pylon getting warped. Oh, gotta be careful, that detection from the missile turret. Oh, gotta be careful. Okay, so that didn't happen. Looks like Nightend is going to be moving in here right now. Gonna try sniping the tank on the high ground. Is going to snipe that tank out as well. Good play over here from Nightend, but there's a lot of Marines, and Helion's still over here to defend, but Goody did lose those tanks, but he has some Marines right here. He removed those from the bunker. He's probably gonna move this tank up a little bit towards this area. I'm not exactly sure, but he's getting more tanks right now. 2 additional tanks from that one, and a reactor factory getting some additional Hellions. There we go. Some additional Zealots getting warped. 10 good force field over here, weakening and killing off some Marines. Good play over here from Nightend. Those Hellions, though, are dealing a lot of damage to the Zealots, but the thing is, there's still a lot of Stalkers remaining over here, so those Hellions are no good against Stalkers. So here we go, Stalkers are moving into the mineral line. These Marines are going to go down. Additional Zealots getting warped in, and looks like Goody's going to go to work. Nightend is going to go to work on these SCVs. There we go, more tanks up on that side. He's probably going to snipe them, but there's an additional tank up on the high ground. Nightend does back off. He doesn't want to fight the tanks. He wants to kill whatever he can without getting in tank fire. Now, he does have this pylon still here, so he's probably going to warp additional units to take down this refinery. He's going to take down the 2nd refinery as well. These SCVs trying to mine as best they can without getting attacked by the Protoss units. Now, here we go. Nightend is probably going to try and take down these tanks. There we go, focusing fire on the 1st tank, taking 1 tank down, and some Hellions are going down as well. But this is probably going to get stopped right now by Goody, although Nightend is doing the smart thing, microing back, moving away from the tank fire. You don't want to fight those tanks as they are sieged up. There we go, but this finally gets cleared up by Goody. And looks like Nightend is going to go back to the drawing board, but meantime he has been placing down his 3rd expansion. He also got a robotics bay in the meantime. Extended Thermal Lance is almost done, got a 2nd robotics facility as well. He's getting some Immortals too, so this is going to be a nice transition over here into robotics facility units for Nightend. And obviously, well, if you get a lot of Colossus, like if you get enough Colossus, it doesn't really matter how many tanks your opponent has, because those Colossus will just do so much damage. I mean, their AoE is insane, and usually if you move out like Goody does, with a lot of tanks clumped up like that, you siege them up, then the AoE from the Colossus is going to be huge as well. So it looks like Nightend is going to try moving across right now doesn't really want to let Goody breathe at all. He wants to keep the pressure on. He knows that he's going to soon be on 3 bases, so as long as he can put a lot of pressure and create difficulties for Goody, he knows that he's not going to be able to mine that well. He's going to have to keep on investing in units. He's not going to be expanding, so Nightend is probably betting on the economic game right now. He's still getting a lot of things, but look at the Terran camp. 1 Thor, 2 Hellions, 2 Vikings, 1 tank, 1 Marine, pre-igniter, and vehicle weapons level 1 on the way. So Goody is putting a lot of money into researches right now, and he's getting additional factories, even so a 5th factory on the way. This is and a 3rd command center. This is huge. I mean, Goody is so used to playing like this. I mean, this is insane. It's like totally trademarked by him. Look at this, 5 factories, and well, that's going to be a lot of mech coming out. And as long as well, if the Viking number grows too much, then these Colossus are going to be in a lot of trouble as well. And if you take out the Colossus from the picture, then the Stalkers are going to go down very easily to Thors and tanks, stuff like that. Even though there are some Immortals in the army mix, they need to be like, well, Immortals don't have that long range, so they're not really going to be that great. So we're just going to have to see how Nightend will deal with this. It is going to be a lot about positioning, a lot about picking your fights. As Protoss, when you fight a Terran that plays like Goody, you got to choose your fights really, really well. Here we go, a drop going down over here. Blue Flame is done. Gonna be careful with these probes. Some probes getting taken out. Not that many though, not that many so far though. Oh, another 3 going down, so that was like 10 probes in total, I think. A lot of probes going down over there. Nightend is not going to be too happy about that. He's mining off this one as well. Now Goody's not going to be too happy knowing that Nightend is on 3 bases. He's going to expand to his 3rd right now, but whoa, that's a lot of Hellions. Why is he getting this many? Very interesting choice from Goody. Many times it looks like he's even using these Hellions as meat shields in fights. Even though they are not so sturdy, they're fast and they're small, and they deal that splash damage. So even if they don't do bonus damage, the splash damage is still there. And if you couple that with tanks, with Thors, you know, that's a lot of damage being dealt to your army regardless. Not to mention that they absorb some fire from the enemy army. There we go, scanning, sees these forces over here. Nightend is backing off. How many Vikings are there right now? 4 Vikings. Let's take a look at the APM. I'm quite curious about this one. Nightend sitting pretty high up here, and Goody around 100 average, while Nightend is above 170. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see. Nightend spreading his observers out really nicely. I like this. There was an observer there, an observer here, a proxy pylon up on that on the high ground to that 2 o'clock expansion. Nightend does see a lot of things, but this missile turret is going to finish. Got to be careful. And splat. That went down really fast. And yep, denying vision up on this side. This pylon is going to get taken out as well. Let's take a look what Nightend is doing. He's going to try pushing across this side, but tanks are sieged up. You don't want to be doing the same mistake that you did in the first game, Nightend. Getting Blink right now, 3 additional Immortals, getting weapons level 2 and armor level 1 for his ground units. Also getting the shields upgrade, so that's really interesting. Indeed, plasma shields are going to get upgraded, but let's see, is he going to go? You know, what I usually like to do in games like these is to get a lot of Phoenix, and Nightend is actually one of those players, because there's like, the only thing you have to worry about is the Thors, but the Thors are going to be busy with attacking the ground units, and then there's the Vikings. But if you get a significantly larger number of Phoenix, you can take out the Vikings easily. And the thing with Phoenix is why they're so good in PvT is that you can lift off siege tanks while they're sieged up, and that gives you a huge advantage when those tanks are sieged up. They do no damage. Obviously the Phoenix are going to do damage to them as well, but doesn't look like Nightend is going to want to transition into any sort of Stargate play. He's just going to sit on this. He's getting a lot of Immortals. This is like, what, 9 Immortals over here. Some Colossus as well. He kind of stopped the Colossus production. He knows that there's going to be more and more Vikings out on the field, although only 4 right now. Is this accurate? No, 7 actually. There's some Vikings somewhere else. There we go, rallied up to that point. So as long as there's no Colossus out on the field, the Vikings become pretty much useless. So as Protoss, you want to keep that in mind. You don't want to insist too much on getting Colossus if you see that your enemy is getting a significant number of Vikings. Now, there's some Ghosts coming out as well for Goody, and whoa, that's a lot of Hellions trying to kill that lonely Stalker over there. As you can see, a lot of Hellions do a lot of damage, even though they don't do bonus damage. If you have a lot of them, well, they do considerable damage. Now, 3 additional Immortals coming now for Nightend. This is really interesting play. Nightend on 4 bases, Goody on 3. Let's take a look at the income tab. Goody still ahead mineral-wise because of those mules, but gas-wise they are pretty equal on the income. And this is so many immortals. I mean, this is insane. 12 immortals right here. And, well, Goody does have a lot of tanks, but he has a lot of Vikings as well, which are not going to help him that much. Of course, there are these 3 Colossus out, but I don't think 3 Colossus compared to, actually, it's what is this now? 12, yeah, 12 Immortals. Obviously, the Immortals are still going to be up, and those Immortals are really good against tanks and Thors in particular, because those Immortals take like no damage from siege tank shots as long as their shields are up. Same with Thors. All these units have slow attack rates, so if he doesn't EMP those Immortals, Goody is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's getting cloak right now for his ghosts, and vehicle weapons level 2 is done right now. Yep, there we go. So these units doing a lot more damage. But here we go, a drop going down at this side. Let's see how many probes are going to go down. Not that many, seems. Some cannons being placed at this position as well. That medevac is going to go down indeed. There we go, trying some harass at this side. And as Goody moves some of his army back, Nightend is going to attack through the front door. There we go. And that's a lot of Immortals. Oh my lord. And these Immortals are going to town on the mech army of Goody over here. Colossus in the back doing a lot of AoE. The Stalkers are still surviving though. Colossus are going down, but doesn't matter that much because all these Vikings are pretty much useless. He is landing the Vikings right now, but they are getting taken out so fast. Now, Nightend did back away. He did take down a lot of Thors and tanks over there. He knows he needs to replenish his army really fast, getting 3 additional Immortals, so he has 3 robotics facilities. This is insane. This is just insane. I would even cancel that Colossus shouldn't even be there because you don't really want to get these Colossus. There's so many Vikings out on the field, and I don't know. I think he's just gonna be thinking about the fact that, yeah, I'm just gonna sack these Colossus and do as much as AoE damage with them onto the tank line as I can before they die, and I'm gonna let the rest of my units take care of the mech army that Goody is using right now. Now Goody is still getting so many how many is this? 7 factories. So 7 factories for Goody, and you can just look at all these tanks and Hellions and Thors just streaming out of Goody's base. But then again, the same goes for Nightend, as he does have 3 robotics facilities. Now, Nightend is betting on the fact that Goody's not going to get so many Vikings after that fight, because well, it's just playing mind games. Goody would probably think, yeah, he's not gonna get Colossus anymore because, you know, I got Vikings, and he doesn't want to fight like that. But the thing is, Nightend is actually getting a lot of Colossus as well, so let's see how that's gonna play out for him. Looks like Goody's gonna try moving on a little bit. I'm not sure if he's just gonna move out, or try some harass over here at this expansion. A lot of Stalkers in this position. Now they can blink across to this side. One Stalker blinking over there, giving him vision. Oh, that's a lot of units, and Nightend needs to be very careful with this. He's moving those Stalkers back. The tanks are sieging up. Oh, this is really bad. This expansion is under fire. And, well, Nightend is going to have to do something. There we go, moving a lot of Stalkers from the right side as well. He's probably going to move these at the same time, blink on top of those tanks. I'm not exactly sure. I think he's going to wait a little bit longer, get some more units, and a nuke on the way for Goody. This is going to be just insane. Goody is getting a nuclear warhead right now. He's probably going to try nuking this place. I'm not exactly sure. Or he might just nuke so he can advance with his mech army. Obviously, that's a very good strategy. You can nuke, and you know that the Protoss is not going to be moving in that position, so you can safely relocate your tanks and stuff like that. Now, the nuke is done, and weapons upgrade level 3 is almost done for Goody as well on his mech. Now this is really crazy. Mining pretty much stopped at this side. Nightend did expand over though to the 1 o'clock. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see what happens. This fight is gonna probably decide the game. The game has been going on for quite a while now, 26 minutes. Now this goat's trying to be pesky over here, and you might want to EMP. I think he did. No, he did not. No shields missing on this. He's probably gonna try nuking something, but there is a cannon over there. Gotta be very careful with that. Nuking the pylons. Not sure I agree with this one. Now Goody is going to. There we go. The observer is moving over here. Goody wants to be very careful with these tanks. Any mistake, getting caught, not being sieged up, is going to cost him huge. Now these tanks not really spreading the way you want them to, because look at the concave. These tanks are not really attacking from the back, and Nightend is moving ahead now. These Colossus are going down to the Vikings, but will it be enough? There's still a lot of Immortals, and now here we go. The Immortals going to work on the tanks. Tanks going down really fast. Same with the Thors. Colossus getting taken out, but it doesn't really matter that much because the Immortals and the Stalkers do survive, and more reinforcements for Nightend over here. This is really huge for him. Goody is in a lot of trouble right now. Let's take a look at the army size, and here we go. 40 supply advantage for Nightend. Nightend, this is his opportunity, his attack window. He needs to take advantage of this. Goody's gonna try his best, rally his units over here, and well, he needs to change these rally points up to here to defend his natural and his third expansion over here. But those bases are almost mined out. Now Goody's gonna try keep this up, but look at all those. They can't even out-repair the damage. These Immortals do so much damage combined with the Stalkers. Look at the upgrades. 3 plasma shields, 3 armor, 3 attack damage. This is huge. The upgrades have made a huge difference in this fight right now. And, well, Goody looks like he lost that mining base, and he doesn't really have that much. Let's take a look at the income tab. Really, almost no income from Goody right now. He's just mining off these few mineral patches. The main and the natural have been mined out. He's gonna try landing the command center over here, getting some mules up on these mineral patches. That's his only chance. He's still getting, there we go, he's out of money right now. He did get all of the resources he could with the money he had. He sieged up a lot of tanks over here. Nightend is expanding up on this space as well. Now let's see if the mules are gonna be dropping. You need to drop those mules down. These rocks haven't been taken down. He cannot transit those SCVs yet. And well, what is Nightend doing? Is he gonna go for it? Yep, seems like he's gonna go attack this base, but he has to be careful. There's still a lot of tanks being sieged up over here. Has to be careful how he engages this. Although he has so many units, I mean, I think he can just walk in here and kill all this off because those Hellions are not going to even scratch him. And it looks like he just spread out his army, nicely created a good concave. Good EMPs though, very good EMPs up on those Immortals. These Immortals are going to go down much faster right now, but this looks like Nightend has too many units and he's flanking this army really well, getting the surround off. Goody does GG, and that's it. That's gonna be it for this game. The score is now tied 1-1. What a great game, actually. And you can just see the power of Immortals, actually just mass Immortals. There are very few games in which you actually see mass Immortals, but what can you do when you play against someone like Goody that's just gonna get metal over metal like that? So much mech. I mean, Immortals are going to do the job. Immortals are the unit that you want to take care of that. So great play from Nightend, and great adapting to this kind of gameplay that Goody has. Obviously, most Terrans you're gonna play are not gonna have this kind of style. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this game. So the score is 1-1 right now. We're gonna be going off to game number 3, who will be deciding the winner of this series. So I'll see you guys in game 3.